Welcome to Lost in English， 这句英文跟你想的不一样。我们用轻松的聊天方式，陪你一起学会生活中最常见的英文片语及惯用法。I'm Shirley.
Hi, I'm Emma.
今天我们要教的片语是 open up。你可能知道 open 本身有打开的意思，但是在对话当中，它还有一个很具体的用法，是跟人与人之间的谈话有相关哦。所以我们现在听听一段对话，看看你能不能猜出片语的真正意思。I've noticed Sarah has been really quiet lately during our hangouts.
Yeah, she's been pretty quiet, but she's finally starting to open up to me about her family.
That's good to hear.
I've just been trying to be a good listener so she feels safe sharing.
So, Emma, what does open up mean here?
Open up means to become more willing to share your inner thoughts.
这个片语里的动词 open 本身有打开的意思，所以当我们说 open up， 就可以想象是你原本为了保护自己，把心房的门关得紧紧的，但现在你决定把这扇门打开的感觉，让对方能够看到最真实的你。所以就是中文我们常说的敞开心房，告诉对方你真实想法与感受，像这样的意思咯。So, Emma, before we start today's topic, I have something to confess, something that I wanted to tell you a long time ago.
Okay, what is it?
So, when we first started working together, I knew you had the background in both Japanese and US culture. But honestly, a few times after we met, I couldn't help but ask myself, hey, am I really working with an American?
That's really funny. Why did you feel that way?
I know you lived in Japan until you were 14 years old, right?
Yeah.
I still expected you to be a bit more American, but honestly, the way you spoke and reacted to things felt very Japanese to me. I was actually kind of confused. I wasn't really sure if you were truly into the topic we were working on at that time. It was really hard to read you because your expressions were so subtle. And yeah, sorry for being that blunt and honest.
Totally. I guess Japanese people don't give away too much. So I think sometimes I can turn it on and become more American, but my baseline personality is probably just chill.
You are chill. From my understanding, it usually takes quite a while for people in Japan to really open up and show their true selves, right?
Yeah, I think people don't know what other people feel about them. They don't share too much information. Some Americans feel like I'm mysterious or withheld, which is really interesting. I think maybe I don't say what's on my mind unless people ask.
Right, mysterious. Yeah, I think that's a word that I was looking for to describe it. Like I could tell you were really friendly, but just not in the typical American way. I used to hang out with a Japanese friend and her group of friends, and honestly, I definitely felt the same vibe, especially compared to people I know from Taiwan and the US.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's funny though. We say that Japanese people have two different personalities. So one when they're sober and one when they're drinking. And I think Japanese people have this drinking culture that's a designated time to let go, and you can share things and be more open. And I think I have that as well.
Yeah, I think I heard of that.
Of course, there are like differentiations like between people. Some Japanese people open up to you more than others, and some Americans have a hard time opening up. Like one of my best friends that I've known for like 16 years is an American and is the type of person that takes a long time to open up. So she's a reserved person.
Yeah, I bet. I met a couple of reserved Americans too. It took me some time to get to know them. 在我们讨论下个主题前，想在这边提醒一下大家，如果觉得语速太快或者是太慢，记得可以随时在 Apple Podcast 或是 Spotify 的播放界面调整你想要的语速哦。那我们就回到今天的主题咯。So what about in the US? I feel like people open up to each other really fast. Like they like to make small talk, share what they have been doing, what they have been interested in recently. Though sometimes I think they overshare, but they are usually very expressive.
To this day, I feel like it's too much and overbearing sometimes. It's fun for eavesdropping though.
Eavesdropping? You mean like listening on other people's conversation, right?
Yeah, so people here talk about everything and anything in public and you can hear it. So one time I was eavesdropping at a coffee shop. She was so loud that everyone could hear, but she was a college student and she talked so much about how she had been a good student in high school and she compared herself a lot with the other students, and I can tell that she really looked down on other people.
Oh, wow. Was she talking to her friend or someone she knew?
Yeah, she was just bragging to her friend, like kind of showing off. I think people they don't like notice themselves doing it as much in the US, but because Japanese culture is such a taboo thing to do, like you shouldn't do it, I'm more sensitive to it.
Yeah, you must have found that so annoying. I mean, I would find that really annoying, especially coming from such a different culture. But I think, there were a couple of times after I moved to the US when I started talking really loudly without even noticing it. My husband was like, hey, you're being too loud. And I was like, oh, am I? I thought you couldn't hear me. And then, I don't know, I'm not sure if it's because I've been affected by Americans or if I was actually loud before I moved here. I don't know.
When I go back to the US after being in Japan for a bit, people cannot hear me because I talk too softly because I'm used to talking like that in Japan.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not the only one. Yeah. So in general, was it hard for you to adjust to the opening up culture?
Even though I attended international school in Japan, when I moved to the US, the transparency of students and teachers were a bit daunting, I guess. Like when I went swimming when I was smaller, an adult started talking to me about how they used to swim in the university team and won the championship. It's funny because I never asked any questions. He just started talking to me about his experience. And in my head, I was like, but I didn't ask about anything.
Oh, wow. Just like my neighbor. Oh, well, yeah, my neighbor, he's like a, 60 years old man. And he didn't seem like a talkative person at first, but after we met a couple of times, he started talking about his job, he, interests, his life, stuff like that. And now he never stops talking. There were a couple times when I had to hide or run away because I was afraid of running into him again. I was in a hurry and I didn't want to get stuck in another nonstop conversation with him again.
I feel like that's a pattern. I began to be good at avoiding people as well.
I mean, my neighbor, he's a nice guy. He has helped us with our house a couple times, but he just opens up too much sometimes. And honestly, I enjoy talking to people, but it's still a bit much for me when someone overshares their life after we've only met a couple times. As a person who grew up in Taiwan.
Yeah, I understand that it's normal in the US, but it does get a bit uncomfortable as well.
Yeah. All right. Just to finish things off, let's go over today's phrase one more time. To open up means to start sharing your personal thoughts or feelings with someone.
Exactly. And whether you open up to people slowly, like in Japan, or dive right in with your whole life story, like in the US, still everyone's different.
And we promise we will try not to open up too much and overshare on this podcast. We don't want you guys hiding from us like I do with my neighbor. Thank you for listening, and we will catch you in the next episode. Bye!
Bye!
如果你觉得今天的内容有趣而且很有帮助，也欢迎到 Instagram 搜寻输出英文，里面有更多文化的相关英文学习内容，别错过咯。那我们就下集见咯。